Cue intro. And we are back, man. Another beautiful day at the Waterboy Show. Welcome everybody out to this special edition. Man, look, later on we're going to tell y'all exactly why it's so special.
Why
you know
it's special, man? I think I know why it's special.
You want me to say it now? You want me to just wait, man? You want me to hold it off? You want me to go ahead and say it now? All right, I'm going to hold it off just a little bit, man. But just know, it's a very special occasion, something that's very special to us and very special to each one of our listeners and our viewers. We appreciate your love and your support. But let me go ahead and do a little house business as we always do. If you out there in audio land or if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you watching and finding us, make sure you go like, share, subscribe. Go wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and also leave us some comments. What that is called is digital currency. That's what my partner B Rich calls it. And that's just you guys showing us love digitally, right? Hey, it might not take a whole bunch of your time. We're not asking you to spend any bread. Just spend a little bit of your love, man, and just give us a like, give us a comment, because what that does is it helps our visibility on the app. It helps people find the show, helps more people who may want to hear about these blood pressure birds, or they may want to hear about anything Atlanta, anything Georgia sports. Tell them they can come right here, hear about anything NFL, NBA. Let's get it popping. So make sure you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and a comment, and like, share, and subscribe. And after you do that, Mario, show B right quick. Make sure you go to 285clothing.com and get you some of this Waterboy Show merch. Look at him. My man got the whole...
Captain Morgan, man.
But he got the hunter, my boy. He feeling real good about his... I'm trying. He couldn't wait to get himself a sweatsuit
Finally,
made.
man.
Oh, I mean, you could have been done that. Because it got made with the logo that we've had.
So did you make yours?
We got made.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
So why am I supposed to make mine?
Hey, man, look. Hey, man, do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Why you got to worry about what I do? But I'll tell you who did do it for me. My lovely wife. Shout out to you, babe. You so beautiful. She got it done for me, my guy. All my fresh shirts. Some of the shirts that you had in the beginning, my cousin got you one, and you wouldn't even wear it more than 2 or 3 times. So, hey, why should we get you more made? That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
I like hoodies. The shirts, man. I don't look good in shirts.
What looks
I'm
bad?
fat. Because I'm fat.
Hey, man.
No, it's not.
Doug say
a hoodie's a hoodie, a
shirt, man.
shirt's a shirt. What are you
A
talking
hoodie
about?
is a hoodie, and a shirt is a shirt. Podcast going, it's time to do some work. There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
Hey, well, look, you see what B Rich is wearing right there, the fresh Waterboy Show clothing. Looks real good. You can find that at 285clothing.com. That is the numbers, 285clothing.com. You can go find the Waterboy Show merch. You can go find everything blood pressure birds. You can even find the good people over at Atlanta Culture. We got all kind of stuff representing the city of Atlanta.
Hey,
What's up?
I know I'm about to throw you off. You know you.
Okay.
But be rich, be knowing. Be rich, be knowing.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
So, you know the Falcons don't mess with us, right?
Hold on. We're not putting that out in the atmosphere.
I'm just saying, well, we're not invited to the press conference anymore.
Yeah.
You know why, right?
Because let's not put that out.
You know
in
what
the
I think,
atmosphere.
right?
Okay, go ahead.
Me and Doug went up to the press conference, and we got some great sound bites. I mean, it went NFL.com, ESPN. We interviewed Zach Robinson, Nate Ollie, and they still play it to this day.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But Doug decided to wear a Fight the Power shirt, and I wore a Magic City hoodie.
Oh, hold on, bro.
I wore a Magic City hoodie.
Around Arthur Blank's business?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think they took offense to that. I can't prove that or anything. But be rich, be knowing. You see what the Atlanta Hawks doing? They got Magic City Monday at the State Farm Arena, and they made a hoodie with Magic City and the Hawks on the back. Way to go, Hawks! All right, you can go.
Hey, man. Be rich, be knowing. You know what? Look, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. it was announced that the Atlanta Hawks will be having Magic City Night. That's right, man. Listen, we talk a lot about sometimes we get caught up in culture in the city of Atlanta and not winning culture. But you know what? When you have nights like Magic City Night, I'm not mad at the culture. I know Doug saw it. Well, look, listen, one part of Doug's brain, which is the genius marketer and the manager that he is, right? One part of him said, damn, boy, the Hawks snap. But the other part of his brain,
I want to win.
I don't know if that was the left or the right brain, said, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. Then come on. It's time for us to win. We got a Magic City night. How about we have a trophy winning night? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I know that's what, but listen, let me tell you. What you got to say, dude?
Let's take the trophy to Magic City.
like the Atlanta United.
Like the who?
Atlanta United.
Oh, okay. I get you. Like you said, Atlanta United.
The Atlanta United.
Look, let me tell you, you got so happy that you stuttered.
Hey, they brought the trophy to Magic City. Mm-hmm. Be rich, be knowing the culture, man. Like I know Doug not on the culture. Well, he is on the culture, but not on the culture when it comes to winning sports in Atlanta. Sometimes we get coaches for the culture that don't work out.
Yeah, well, see, Doug is about being part of creating the culture, not following the culture just to bring people in. Did I say it right?
Exactly.
Did I explain you correctly in the way you look at things?
I just want to win. That's it, bro. We can celebrate wherever. We can do whatever after the win.
Hey, man, listen. I can't say that I disagree with Doug when it comes to winning. But you know what? Like I said, I mess with the Hawks for this Magic City night. Shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. Shout out to their whole team. I don't know if Melissa Proctor was a part of this or not. Remember, we were supposed to have her on the show. We never were able to get Melissa Proctor on the show. Like she is like a big dog over there with the Hawks, making a lot of these marketing things happen. I don't know if it was her brainchild or somebody on her team's brainchild, but I'm telling you, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks for never forgetting about the city of Atlanta and making sure the world knows who Atlanta is and what Atlanta is about. There are just certain things that certain cities are known for. And I know there's a lot of people that's up in arms. Oh, my God, they talking about a strip club. How dare this NBA team? Oh, even had old Whitlock. Jason Whitlock came out and said that this was despicable.
Who?
Like he said the NBA is no longer for families. The NBA is saying that it's now for degenerates and people who want to sexualize women. Man. That's what the man said. Man. That's what the man said.
Hey, look, man.
As he was closing his computer on Pornhub.
Hey, look. Hey, listen. I was scrolling through the net, man, the gram, and I saw a headline that said something about your boy. And I was like, oh, we finna get him. Stephen A. Smith. I thought he was mad that we was doing it. And I looked at the tape. I was like, oh, okay, he with it.
Hey, man, Stephen A. Smith.
He was against it.
He said everybody, he said it's despicable, it's deplorable. And then he says one more word he used in there. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And he said that I can't be there.
Yeah, exactly. Man. I was like, okay. I thought he was about to go in, bro.
Listen, man. Listen, at the end of the day, man, look, it's a legal establishment. It's a place that you go where, hey, nobody's doing anything wrong, man. Look, everything is legal, my guy. You're just going to have a good time. Maybe you want to go for the wings. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we trying to make sure we turn people on to one of the best places to go and get wings from in the city. Either way, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. What's up, Mario?
That's exactly where they got the wings in the building that night. So you can actually get the Magic City Kitchen is going to be at State Farm.
And you can get wings.
You can get the Lou Will lemon pepper wets, and you can get the regular lemon peppers. So you're going to get some of the best wings in America, period, and along with a good hoodie and a dope performance from T.I. because Tip is performing at halftime. So it's going to be a Magic City Monday. It's going down at State Farm.
Let me tell you something, dog. Go ahead, B.
Do you think
against the Magic?
Do you think Tip's going to diss 50?
I mean, I look, that song going right now.
That song
got the right one. I don't know if he gonna do it or not. It's a whole lot of choice words in there. I don't know.
Well, what's the name of Tip's new single?
Let him know. You gonna get out there and let him know.
You know where he got that from? The whole cadence.
Where?
DJ Jimmy. Back in the day. Where they at? He got that little. I just heard it the other day.
You gonna have to explain that to me. I know DJ Jimmy.
The way he's singing, rapping.
Let him know. I don't know. I don't hear it. It sounds like something like it's a cadence Tip has used before in some of his music before.
Which song?
Man, I don't know. Like I can't think of the exact song. And What You Know, you think of You That and What You Know?
It almost feels like What You Know Part 2 when you listen to it. At least to me.
I don't know, but when I heard it, it's nothing that I haven't heard from him. It's cadence that I've liked from him before. I don't know if he, but I mean, ain't nothing wrong if he did. If he did reach back.
I hear it now. When I first heard it, I liked it. I thought it was a little bit too repetitive, but that's just fire.
Nah, the way it comes in, I ain't gonna lie, the teaser sold everything.
Oh yeah, when he cut the head.
The teaser sold everything. Like it was done. It was done. It was done. But hey, all the fellas who love T.I. as the MC and the cool dude from the South, and all the females who love him, you know what I'm saying? They were like, there he is. He is back. He is back. But look, let me get back to these Hawks, right? No, you ain't got to be sorry about nothing, man. We talking about what's going on. So, let me tell you something, man. The Atlanta Hawks, this is why we got to get a winner, right? Why? Because it won't be a cooler place to be than with the Atlanta Hawks, man, if we get a win. Man. Look, what other place got a barbershop where you can see the court? Let me get a fade. You can get a fade and watch a fadeaway at the same time.
Swag shop.
You know what I'm saying? You can get swag shop. You see the celebrities always around. Now we got Magic City night. Now they bringing in the wings. Look, man, they keep the MCs from the city, always flowing through there, always showing the audience some love. It's always a good time. Let me tell you, to me, it's no really like horrible seat. Like I've set up high and I've sat down low. I can't say I've sat in a seat that I just hated when I've been there watching the Hawks play. When we been, because I'm taking B Rich's standpoint today. Win. I'm saying nothing but win. WHEN. Win. We build a winner. When we turn this team into a winner. I'm using B Rich's positivity. I'm just not using the water therapy technique. Hey. But when we build a winner, my guy, we got it.
Hey, man, do you remember when Trae Young took us to the Eastern Conference Finals, how the State Farm was lit? Man, I even saw Jackie Moon out there singing "Love Me Sexy."
Love Me Sexy.
Yeah. I think he was out there singing "Love Me Sexy" on the floor.
Love Me Sexy.
But I disagree, man. If my feet ain't on the wood, the seats ain't no good. I gotta be on the court side, man. That's how I got that Trae Young jersey.
Okay.
I had court side seats, man, for the year.
Okay. Well, I didn't sit courtside. We sat right behind the players. One game, Trae Young's game, first home game, the one against Luka. You and I, we sat right behind the players.
Yeah,
I mean,
did see Luka.
we sat. Matter of fact, we sat right behind John Collins. As a matter of fact, could barely see because he's so tall. We sat right behind John Collins, and I'm not gonna lie. Now that's not floor seats, but it's close to it. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't have a much better time than when I've sat in some other seats, man. I mean,
I had a good time. I think we was talking to Kent Bazemore. I was talking to him. You all right, man?
Yeah, you talking to him and John Collins.
Yeah, man.
And then you were about to say something to somebody, and John Collins turned around and said, "Hey, don't do that."
When we was going on the Clippers.
Now you were about to say something to somebody on the Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
And John Collins turned around and said, "Hey, don't do that. Don't do that."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was.
I like to heckle the players.
Why?
I just do. It was a game, bro. I got at John Harden's head. James Harden's head, man. He ended up hitting like 50 points, and he said, "I'm gonna hit 50 on y'all." And they looked at me and said that. And then when they thought that Cam Reddish and him got into it on the TV, me and him was getting into it and was having words. They about to kick me out of the stadium.
And tell everybody the result of that game.
Trae Young had a 50-point triple-double. We lost.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
But I ain't lie about Trae Young 50 points.
And did James Harden lie?
He didn't lie.
Boy, he bust the Hawks up. Thanks to you.
Yep.
Congratulations, B.
It was fun.
You got Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks belt to behind.
I did. By James Harden.
Belt to behind.
He got mad at me. He was mad. He said, "I'm going to hit 50 on y'all." And he did.
Hey, man, especially since, and he don't even know. He really was talking to a guy who just does not like or respect him. Because you can't stand James Harden. Go ahead and say it, man. You don't have to sugarcoat it for the people.
James Harden is overrated, man. James Harden is overrated. I don't think he's never going to win a championship.
Man, somebody told me I need to speak to the water. I can't speak. Hey, so listen. I'm going to say this, man. And we always seem to find, it's a few things that we find our way back to debating all the time. James Harden is one of them. Kevin Durant is definitely one of them. Trae Young is one of them. And does energy have power and help your team win?
Yes.
Like we always debate those things. And I'm going to say this. James Harden definitely has some serious flaws in the way he leads teams. You know what I'm saying? I think James Harden needs to stick with teams a little better than he has. I think he does get up and go a little too much. But I can't say that James Harden is overrated. I think James Harden is one of the best scorers and one of the best one-on-one players. Now, does that equate winning basketball? We haven't seen it. I can't say it does, but I won't say he's overrated. I think he is what he is. He's a very good one-on-one player that can get hot, that can get streaky, and he has shrunk in some of the big moments. I think that's just who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But who knows?
Hey, man. Let them know what time it is today, man. I'm excited.
You ready to go ahead and let the cat out the bag?
Yes.
Okay. That does say you just ready to eat.
No, I ain't ready to eat. I explain once you.
Okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody out there, man. Oh, we didn't even tell them we got a special guest today. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that, man, because we got a very, very special guest that's coming up a little later, man. Somebody that, you know, look, if you a big fan of that right there, if you like that right there, if you like that right there, that Georgia Tech, if you like that Georgia Tech, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. But listen, this is why today is a very special day. It's the day that you were born. It's your birthday. We got it going on.
Ryan Cameron was here to sing.
I do too. Let me tell you, it's not B-Rich's birthday. It's not my birthday. It's not Mario's birthday. It's not Doug's birthday. Or I got Aaron's birthday. But guess whose birthday it is? It is the 2-year anniversary and birthday of the Water Boy Show. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, look at that cake. Look at that. Man, help me make some room, B. Help me make some room, man. Let's put that nice cake down there right now. Let me tell y'all something, man. 2 years ago.
Consistency.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, y'all. We had an idea. To do a podcast. And, I mean, we've had the idea really for years. We used to go back and forth on Clubhouse. In 2000 and 2001, we used to call it the Clubhouse Barbershop. Mm-hmm. That was really the first time the actual sports podcast, you can say, that it really came to life. Because, man, we used to have, like, pro athletes used to come in, all kind of beat writers. Shout out to my boy Demaryius. We had a guy, I can't remember his name. He was a New England Patriots beat writer, and he covered the Celtics. He's coming out of our clubhouse room every day that we had it. We used to talk sports. We used to talk, like, really good things, have real good discussions around everything sports. But then it was time to turn into a podcast. It was supposed to happen January 2001. It didn't happen. 1 year went by. 2 years went by. 3 years went by. And then on that 4th year, we said enough is enough. You met Aaron. Aaron was able to come and be a part of what we decided to do. And we recorded and launched our podcast. And it is 2 years from the dates that we dropped some of our first content ever. And our second video ever went viral. 800 and some thousand views. And God been putting underneath our sails and helping us fly ever since, man. So I want to say thank you, my brother. Look, man. Yeah. Give a hug. My guy. Give a hug, man. Give a hug. My guy. Love you, bro. My guy, man. Let me tell you something, man. Because
man, our cake about to burn up.
No, it ain't. Go ahead, blow them out. Damn. There we go, man. There we go.
Never mind.
Oh, no, it was about to sound real suspect what you were about to say. It was about to sound real.
I didn't say nothing.
But I know what you were about to say, though.
Go on and cut your cake, bro.
Hey, but listen, man. Listen, let me tell you. It is, it's something I don't take lightly. I'm going to just be real with y'all for a minute. Like, I tell the story all the time. Like, man, I felt like something was missing. Like, I really did. Like, man, hey, I'm with my wife. Love my wife. Nothing changed at the house. I'm with my 2 boys. Nothing changed at the house. I love my boys. But when I looked in the mirror, man, like, I didn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? I felt like something inside of me was being let go, man. I wasn't taking care of my face the way I needed to, man. I wasn't dressing the way that I used to. You know, I just wasn't showing up outside of my household the way I felt like I needed to. And I didn't understand why. I went back to school, man. I started a trucking company. I was doing all these things. Man, I started day trading. Man, I'm doing like all kind of stuff, you know, getting bread, you know what I'm saying, to do what I need to do. So I'm just constantly moving, but I'm still like, man, something missing. I didn't understand what that was until the day that we shot our first episode. And I tell this story all the time. I left up out of your spot, because that's where we shoot the episodes. I left up out of there, and I went down to the car, and I got in my car, and dog, it was like, remember when Steve Young was on the sideline?
Yeah.
And he was like, got that monkey off his back.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like, I felt like I wanted to be like, man, the monkey is off my back. I knew instantly what it was. I said, you know what? That's what it is, man. Like, I feel like myself again. I'm back creating. I'm back creating. I'm back taking something that God gave an idea, and I'm creating, and I'm doing it with my brother. I'm doing it with this new guy who's a little bit weird, but God bless him, and Aaron. I love you, though, Aaron. I had to say that just for Aaron. I'm going to clip that and send that to him. But, man, I knew we had something special, and when I walked in the house, and then I'm going to pass it to you. When I walked in the house, and I'm just show you how the way your spirit feels and what's going on with you godly, the way it truly shows up, whether you know it or not. I walked in the house. My kids don't even know what's going on with me. I walk in the house. My son walks in the room, and first thing he said to me was, Dad, you look different. What you been doing? That's what my son said to me. I ain't changed nothing, bro. I just walked in the door.
The energy.
And my son said, Dad, you look different. What you been doing?
That's good. Man, you couldn't describe it any better, man. I could say one thing. I always been behind the scenes. I used to manage you. And it's different, man, when you're going out and people coming up to you, recognizing you for your talent and what you're doing. So, yeah, man, like, I feel like the team, Doug, Mario, Woe Pittman, I think we're creating something special, man. It's going to be big. I don't know when, why or how, but I feel like it's going in the right direction. And to all the people that's watching and support us and leave comments, man, thank you.
Man, you know, and the crazy thing about it is, you know, we say it's gonna be big because we have our idea of how big we want the show to be. But man, we run into guys like I ran into a guy named Twan. Shout out to Twan. I ran into him. What's that? It was Friday. I think it was Friday. It was Thursday or Friday. I ran into Twan over at JJ's Fish and Chicken on Highway 85.
I think I was talking about rib shape. My bad.
No. JJ's Fish and Chicken. I ran into him a few days ago, man, over on Highway 85. Shout out to you, Twan. I ran into him with his old lady and their child, and I walk in to get something, and he was like, hey, man, I follow and support your podcast. Man, I love y'all, man. Man, I really mess with what you're doing, man. Man, you and your boy, y'all keep doing your thing. And even though the monetary side hasn't gotten to where it's going to get.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though the notoriety hasn't gotten to where it's going to get to. Even though just everything around it hasn't, even our set hasn't gotten to where it's gonna get, man, we are doing something big, bro. We are doing something big. You know what I mean? Because if nothing else, we following what God put in front of us, and we following some of our purpose. So we are doing something big, man. So shout out to Doug, shout out to Mario, shout out to Aaron, and one person who gets forgotten about a lot that we never say T. Shout out to T for holding things down. And shout out to the young brother Terry. Terry come through. Terry come through when he can. You know what I'm saying? He filmed some stuff. I never see it afterwards. But shout out to
I did see the behind the scenes footage when we went to the Falcons.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to my guy. He come through. He gets some good stuff that I'm sure it looks good. You know? Shout out to Terry, man. But look, we about to take a break, man, and we about to bring in, man, a real special guest for y'all, man. Thank you to everybody, man, who been sticking with us, man. It's our 2-year anniversary. B, he can't wait to cut the cake.
I'm about to cut everybody some cake, man.
I'm not eating any, man.
You're not?
Nah, but go ahead, cut the cake, though.
You not eating no cake?
No, I'm not gonna eat any cake. I know. Hey, listen, man.
I
I know they say you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take that standpoint. I got the cake, but I'm not gonna eat at this standpoint. Cause boy, I'm trying to be unfat. I'm trying to be less fat than I was last month. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I already done dropped about 6 pounds. Okay, got a few more to go. You know what I'm saying? But look, we about to go. You want to cut the cake first?
I'm cutting it.
I'm saying before we go to break.
No, we go to break. I cut the first piece. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, put on the plate, man.
Bam. You want a cake, Mario?
No, I got to run the board. I can't do it.
You want a cake, Doug? Jonathan, you want a cake? He looked like, man, I want to say yeah.
Hey, look, y'all still. And shout out to my boy, Stiller Mike, man. So if y'all don't know, Stiller Mike, when y'all hear that name, Stiller Mike, right? That's one of my closest friends, one of my best friends in the world. We've been rocking with each other. I think we met around 95 or 96. And when you see Black on all the skits, when you see Black helping us bring the funny to social media, man, shout out to Black. Black is our guy. Black is also part of the Waterboy Show team. Black goes out and makes things happen. And it's man, it's just super special, man. I couldn't be happier than to do this with my brothers. We also have some special things in the works and some ideas that we throwing around with Black Mike, which is Stiller Mike. So if you hear me say Black Mike, sometimes I revert back to the name we call him in the Attic crew. But yeah, we got some special things coming with Stiller Mike as well. So man, happy birthday to you too, Black Mike, man, because you just as part of this as everybody else, and you helping this grow into what it is, man. And we thank you and we love you, bro, and we love everybody that's part of the team. Now, let's go ahead and take our break. We about to bring in our guests, man. We'll see y'all. But
before we go on a break, I want to read this, and then we're going straight to break. It's on Instagram, DMW Britain. I am so thankful for coming across this show, guys. I can relate to, and I love Atlanta sports as much as y'all love Atlanta sports as much as I do.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that.
Let's do this break, man.
All right, let's go to break. Then we got our guests coming up.
So you mean to tell me they having an Atlanta Falcon party here at the Blue Flame?
Yes, they having a Falcons party at the Blue Flame.
What? Hey, bro, they're not gonna let you in. You gotta have Falcons gear. That's why I brought me a Falcon hat.
Man, I ain't putting no Falcon nothing on, player. That's me. I'm Pittsburgh Stiller all day. Stiller Mike. That's what they call me.
Okay.
That's what you know me for.
Okay.
ATL all day.
Okay, well let's see if you get in. Come on.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where you going, Liz?
I'm going in the party.
What you got going on? No,
Hey.
This is the Falcons party.
But I'm Stiller Mike. What's wrong with the water
I
ball?
don't know nothing about
What
it.
you gonna do?
I told you. That's why I brought my Falcon, and she let me in.
What you gonna do?
What I'm gonna do? Rise up, baby, rise up. In the Blue Flame, chilling with my boys with the Falcons, baby. Yeah, Falcon tailgate in the Flame, baby. Yeah. Rise up. Rise up. Tell them Tokyo show, Tokyo. Rise up.
Oh boy.
That's a tailgate.
I told you.
I love the Falcons. You
I
told
told you, boy.
You told me.
I told you, boy. Hey, look, check this out. So, you rocking with the Falcons now?
Tokyo gonna be playing with the Falcons?
No.
The Falcons. Go Steelers!
Ready to come back in?
Yeah.
Speaking of Stiller Mike, man, we just got him to trade in his Steelers jersey for an Atlanta Falcons jersey, man. And I think it's right on time because, you know, when we talk about our guests, you know, I showed y'all the Tech, I showed y'all the Ramblin' Wreck, right? Mm-hmm. And so we first think of Georgia Tech because we know that's who he represents and what he means to the state of Georgia. But also, that same jersey that Black Mike loves, that we got Black Mike to take off and put a Falcon jersey on, he also wore that same jersey. You know what I'm saying? Wore it in the Super Bowl as well, you know, and put in work for the Steelers, man. So listen, we always want to represent athletes that not only did their thing on the field, but did their thing outside the field, especially men who have reached back after their playing time, and now they're playing a part of other young men's lives and helping them grow as athletes, but as young men. If you don't know how special it is to have a coach in your life and you never played sports, trust me, if your kids play, you'll understand how special a coach is. So the man we about to bring up, you're going to know him as a player, but he's also doing his thing coaching, and I respect that as well because I know he's really connecting with young men out in his community and helping them grow and turn into the men that they will be out into the world, man. So like I said, we bring one of Georgia's own, Kel High, went to Georgia Tech, played for the Steelers, played a big role in beating down the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Look, that put a smile on his face. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to our guy, Jonathan DeWire. I'm talking about the running back extraordinaire. Run you over, send you home with a toe-up shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Run you over, see you with a toe-up shoulder. I like that.
Run you over, send you home with a toe-up shoulder. Jonathan, what's up, my guy?
What's up, man? Appreciate
What's up,
it.
man?
Nice
How
to
you
meet
doing, man?
See you guys. Yeah, most definitely.
Man, so look, welcome out, man. You are our guest on our 2-year anniversary, man.
Oh,
This
man,
is
that's
our
dope,
second
man.
birthday, man.
That's what's up. Happy birthday to y'all.
Man, thank you, my brother. Thank you. And we happy to have you out here, man. So I know I touched on a little bit about you coaching. But, man, just tell the people, what's going on with Jonathan DeWire right now. And all any Georgia Tech fans, man, y'all make sure y'all jump in the comments, man, and make sure y'all show Jonathan some love, man. Let us know what's going on with you these days, my brother.
These days, I'm coaching at my alma mater, Kell High School, coaching the running backs and being in charge of the run game and all that good stuff. And just trying to, give back. This is what, God has put me on this earth for, was not just to be an athlete like I am or was, but also to, share the growth for these young men that are trying to get to where I was at and trying to help them reach their goals.
Man, that's awesome. Look, so my dad coached my little league team, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when I played baseball was the sport that I leaned into the most. And my dad was coach little league, but the reason I bring that up is because even though that was just little league, right?
Yeah.
I played with my brothers who were on my team. We played from the time I was 5 through 13, right?
Wow.
Still to this day, my dad's still living. Still to this day, if I run into any one of those guys, if they speak about my dad, they don't ask me how Mr. Montgomery doing. They don't ask me how my father's doing. They don't ask me how my dad doing. You know what they say? Man, how coach doing? To this day, bro.
Yep.
Every last one of them. And these grown men, all 50, you know what I'm saying? The youngest might have been 49 at this point. But they still ask, man, how coach doing? And then when I call them and put them on the phone, they just smile and say, Coach, man, how you been, man? So how does it feel and what does it mean to you to be a coach, to be in that position that really touches young men? And I know you coaching men, but for the coaches who coach women, that touch young women's lives in such a pivotal way.
Well, coaching is a big deal for me because I also train kids as well. So I coach track as well at the high school. So I'm around girls and guys all the time. I train a lot of, athletes who are at the collegiate level right now. And, my thing with them is just also like helping them build confidence within themselves because, the world today is so nitpicking on what you do and how you do things. And they're always trying to find ways to bring you down. So I always try to, inspire my young men and young women to, be confident in what it is you do. Like, always realize that you are, every time you step on the field, a court, a pool, whatever it is, realize you're a badass, and walk with that and, inspire yourself. And also at the same time, understand that people are watching you, what you do as well. So you're also a role model to the youth as much as, I am as well.
Man, that's awesome, man. You're right about that. I don't think people on the high school level realize that they can be role models in a certain extent. Like my nephew played at South Gwinnett, David Montgomery, and then he played at North Gwinnett, and he was really good when he was at South and at North. And I used to watch some of the little kids. They used to run up to his younger brother, my other nephew, and be like, "Man, your brother's David." You know what I'm saying? And that's the high school level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you definitely said something then.
Man, so playing at Georgia Tech, man, you were one of the very few that got a chance to beat the Bulldogs, man. Tell us how that felt, man.
It felt amazing just because of, going back to my whole recruiting. When I was getting recruited, I was considered like the number 2 running back in the state. I was behind this guy named Caleb King. Mm-hmm. And me and him were constantly going on different visits together just because other teams were recruiting both of us. But the Georgia visit really kind of like, put a nail in the coffin with me and why I didn't go to Georgia. I really wanted to go to Georgia at one point. Kirby Smart was actually recruiting me at the time. He was the running back coach when Coach Rick was the head coach. And during my visit, Coach Smart did a great job like recruiting me, talking to me, things like that. But then when he left to go take the Miami Dolphins job, Coach Bobo was my recruiting coordinator. And when I went on my visit, the visit wasn't as homey as I thought I was gonna be. They were showing a lot of love to Caleb. A lot of everybody was just talking to him majority of the time. They really weren't talking to me, so that left a bad taste in my mouth. So from then on, it was like I'm going wherever I gotta go, so they gotta see me. So that was
all right, Coach Bobo.
That was my mentality. I mean, me and Mike are cool now, obviously, but during that time process, it was like, all right, that's how you feel. You gonna have to deal with me at some point.
Yeah, during that game, you had a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, had a great game.
Wow, and he had 2 touchdowns. 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you for beating us, man.
I mean, it was a fun game just in general. Like, that was probably the last time they won. Next time when they won a national title, it's probably one of the most talented teams Georgia's ever had. If you look back at their roster, like Matt Stafford was the starting quarterback. No Sean Marino was the starting running back. AJ Green was a young pup. They had Geno Atkins, Rennie Curran, Rashad Jones.
Was Justin Houston on that team?
Justin Houston was on that team. Like they were loaded. I mean, but at the same time, we were loaded too.
Yeah.
Like we had some dudes as well. You guys just had Morgan up here. Bebe, rest in peace. Joshua Nesbitt, Daryl Richard, Michael Johnson, and the list goes on.
Was Calvin? Was Megatron?
No, I was my sophomore year. Okay. Calvin got there the year I committed. So the year I committed, he went into the draft, and that's how I ended up with number 21.
Okay.
It's like Calvin.
Okay.
Man, how do you think, like speaking of Nesbitt, like I don't know if you're here in Georgia, you hadn't forgotten about him.
No.
You know what I mean? But like, how do you think Nesbitt's game would be even more enhanced, like if he was in the way things are more spread out now and the way they use quarterbacks that had his skill set now?
Nesbitt probably be playing in the league right now, straight up. Like, just from a standpoint of just like Nesbitt's game had to change because of the offense. Like, he was a natural passer growing up in high school. He pretty much ran 5 wide all the time.
Oh, wow.
Just let him do his thing. And then when he got to Tech, he was basically, having to change his game into this triple option that we had to run. A lot of people had to change their game. Like, I had to change my game. Bebe had to change their game. Everybody had to, put their game of what we grew up in, of being in a spread offense and be able to do all this. But the triple option is very structured. And if you don't do your job, it's not going to be successful. So, we had to change our games a lot.
Man, look, anybody out there listening, man, leave a comment. Tell me if he just enlightened you too, because I didn't know that about Nesbitt. I think most players most fans, if all you watched was his time at Tech, you would have thought that that's what they brought him in strictly to be like. That's the type of quarterback that he was, that maybe he had some limitations. But you saying the high school he came from, they ran 5 wide a lot.
Yeah, like our recruiting process was, with Nesbitt was, the first time I met him was on a Georgia visit. It's crazy. We were at a Georgia visit. And, we were talking, we connected, and we just had that relationship throughout the whole recruiting process where we started seeing each other on different visits, and we were just talking, and I saw his film, and I was like, dude, I want to play with this guy. Like, just the way he has a warrior mentality, never die easy mentality, and he's just a guy that, inspires you as a quarterback from his leadership standpoint. So, basically, we were a package deal no matter where we went. So, at first, I was going to go to Florida. He thought about going to Florida, but then it came down to him and Cam. And Cam ended up committing first.
Yeah, so then it was like, I'll make another move.
I'll make a decision. And then, Tech was on my list just as much as Florida was. And then he was like, man, I'm about to go to Tech. I was like, fuck it. We're going there together.
Because you wanted to see them dogs.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so being at Tech, right, you was there 3 years and you declared for the draft. Do you regret declaring for the draft and staying an extra year to work on your craft, or is that something that you happy that you did?
I'm happy that I did, because at the same time, like, I feel like there was nothing else I could learn from a standpoint of football wise. Maybe in the extra year of, growing up and being a little more mature, but from a standpoint of just like athletically, like I've reached my peak at where I was at Tech. Maybe if the portal was like it was now, I probably would have transferred and played another year somewhere in a more traditional offense to prepare myself. But no, I don't regret it at all.
Do you think like the NIL deals? Do you think that do you wish you had a chance at that?
I think everybody does.
It's money, huh? That was a dumb question.
I think everybody does, just because it's like, being a college athlete during that time was a struggle, man. Like you get that little $20 per diem, $20 in your pocket. You try to figure out if I'm going to spend this on gas or food. Yeah. And on the road you might get a little 50 piece, and you're not trying to spend any of that while you're on the road. You wait until you get home.
You gotta get home.
So I think the main thing was just like, I think for sure, like, I saw, obviously they were selling Calvin's jersey before me, and then people were still wearing it while I was playing. Then we changed the uniform. So there were people wearing my jersey at the time. So it's like, I'm like, dang, like, I'm not getting anything from that. I'm watching people, just wearing it, and then like, my billboard's in the city of Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Like, so like, you like looking back on it now, you're thinking like, man, like, how much money I would have, gained from that and just put to the side. Obviously the main thing is to get to the league, but it's a good have a little pocket money.
I say we should create a union and go back and get the money from the retro for all the ex-athletes, man.
Shoot, man, that'd be too much money. Too much people be putting their hand out for sure.
Yeah, everybody be looking for some change. So look, you talked about you coaching track, and of course football as well. And I think most people, and I want to know if it was like this when you were coming out of high school, because of your size and your ability to run with power. I think a lot of people didn't understand that you had burner speed as well. Mm-hmm. Man, so tell us, give us a moment where you broke away and you already knew, y'all got to see me, y'all got to see this speed as well as this power.
Well, I mean, I was a good football player growing up, but I think I started developing later, probably around middle school time. I was running track since I was 10. So the speed has always been there for me. My parents are, my dad's from Jamaica. He's a big track guy, so.
What was your 40?
I think I ran a 4.48, something like that.
That's good for running back.
And then I ran a 4.52 at the combine. Then I came back at Tech and I ran a 4.48. And then I'm 100 times in high school. We're 10.6, 10.5. Raced a lot of fast guys like Eric Berry and some other guys growing up. So track has always been probably the reason why I was fast. Yeah. And then some God-given ability and things like that. And I always felt like if I break one, it's a wrap. Yeah. And especially I took pride in, not getting caught from behind and all that good stuff, especially in high school and college. The league's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Everybody's fast in the league. Yeah. So, I broke a lot of really fast runs, but ended up getting caught. But that's just, the nature of the NFL.
Yeah, you had what was your longest run in college? 80-something yards?
Yeah, I had a 88-yarder. That was one of the longest.
Tell us about that play, man. Set us up.
We were in a trip set.
Who y'all playing?
We were playing Mississippi State.
Okay.
Noon game. Nesbitt got hurt early in the game, so J. Boss Shaw had to come in. He's also the head coach at Dawson County down in Dawsonville. We ran a speed option to the right. Lucas Cox gave me a good block, and I saw this big alley, and I was like, I gotta go. So I accelerated, and this, it was a long run. Had some blocks. Ryan Jones and some other guys had some blocks for me, and I started slowing down and scoring, and didn't realize how long it was until I sat down, and it was hot as hell. So.
I mean, 88 yards, boy, that ain't nothing to play with.
Hey, so fast forward to the NFL, right? You got a chance to play in the Super Bowl. Tell us that experience, man.
I think the Super Bowl is it's a dog and pony show at the end of the day. Just from a standpoint of there's a lot of distractions that go on throughout the week. A lot of the guys, on my roster, they played in 2-3 Super Bowls already.
Wow.
So they were used to it. Troy and Ben and all them are been in 2 Super Bowls. So for everybody else, it was a normal week for them. For me, it was emotions go up and down just because it's you dream of moments like this. You dream of being in this moment, and try to keep the week as simple as possible, but it really wasn't. You got family trying to come in. You're trying to make sure they're good. You got all these other things going on like media, appearances, things like that. Trying to make some extra money, things like that. So, and then finally the day gets everything's normal is when you go to the other hotel the day before the game. So on Saturday we went to another hotel. So then it was oh, okay, we're back to normal again. We're away from all the other shit that's going on, and you get ready to play.
Was it before the game where you kind of nervous?
I think everybody was, and then you see the opening kickoff, the flashing lights is going across. You're dang, I'm here, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff. And then what's funny was we joke around about it. Now Christina Aguilera messed up the whole song, the national anthem before the game started.
She did?
Yeah. So I'm sitting there trying to get locked in. Usually when the national anthems go, I'm start praying. So I'm praying, ask all that good stuff, and then I heard the song, and she was singing great, but then the words got flipped, and one of my teammates was did she mess up the national anthem?
I gotta go back and watch that.
You gotta
man.
go watch it. You gotta go watch it. It's all over everywhere, and all that stuff happened. And then once the game started, it was just up and down emotion, and then that's when I realized how good Aaron Rodgers was for sure.
So speaking of quarterbacks, Big Ben, he's one of the greats. Got a couple chips behind himself. Was there a time that as a quarterback, we hear stories of quarterbacks getting into their you know, like if you dropped the pass or anything, was Big Ben like kind of the type that'll get on you about something, or did you ever have a conversation with him?
I don't recall. I know that he, you know, is demanding, but not as like he doesn't have too much antics. He'll probably come up to you like he's not like the guy that's gonna be screaming and yelling, that type of guy. But you know, he's a different type of leader. Like I would say that early on in his career, like he didn't have to lead because, you know, we had James Ferrier and, you know, all these other guys that were leading. So like he was kind of like, you know, did his business and went off. You know, as he, you know, the years went on, he started trying to connect with guys and things like that. You know, like early on in his career, like on Fridays, like it was basically like we called it track speed Fridays. So we were in there. We were in shorts in our jersey, nothing else on, nothing else. Yeah. We just get in, get out. He's trying to go get his tea time, you know, especially early in the season and things like that. So that's just how he was back then. And then that later he started being more so of a leader.
Did you have any players on the team that kind of like took you under the ropes and then kind of like was like gave you tough love?
Yeah,
I like hearing stories like that.
I would say Heath Miller, man.
The tight end.
Yeah. No one really likes like to give Heath his flowers, but like, you know, I never saw Heath drop a pass in practice. And like if he did drop one, everybody kind of like stopped and looked around like he just dropped that ball. But like Heath was just like this lunch pail. You know, he came in, drove in. You know, still had a nice car, but like drove. He had his lunchbox every time he walked in. So he would have his own like snacks he would have throughout the week. And throughout the day, and he would come in. He had the same routine every single day. And it was like, you know, one of our player development guys, Ray Jackson, told us like, find a vet that you know that you somewhat connect with, and you know, it doesn't have to be the same guy in your position room, but someone that you know handles his business like a pro is supposed to play. I saw Heath like handle his business like a pro, and I was like, man, he's been playing for this long. He's got to be doing something right. So I just followed him, and he just took me under his wing. Like we started talking and. You know, obviously we're ACC guys. He went to Virginia, so we had a lot of connection with that, and just followed everything he was trying to do.
No, that's hard, man. I think, like, for people who don't follow the Steelers all the time, but don't think about the Steelers, I think you can forget about Heath Miller sometimes. But he was a beast. Mm-hmm. Like he was really good, real solid tight end. Like always able to make plays for Big Ben. Before the show got started, you and I we were just chopping it up a little bit, just getting to know each other, man, and we were talking a little bit about that Super Bowl, like how was it being on opposite sides of your brother? With Morgan, both of y'all coming in rookies, and Morgan on one side with the Packers, even though he didn't play in that game, and you on the other side, man. And you were telling me some cool little stuff, man, that happened afterwards, man.
I think you know we talked, you know, via text throughout the week. He was with his family, and I was with mine. You know, it was kind of hard to like meet up, things like that. Especially we're trying to meet up more so at the beginning of the week because it was more like a normal week, so you had more free time. There was no curfew, like that. So we're trying to figure out where we were. Didn't align the right way, but we saw each other during pregame, and then obviously I saw his ass after the game, and it didn't go my way, but it went his way. So I was happy still for my brother that he was able to reach a pinnacle opportunity like that. So that was all good. But then he came with the bullshit afterwards, where he was playing. Green and Yellow by Lil Wayne every time he saw me. So I had to deal with that all off season, but it was all fun and games. But we got our lick back later on in our careers, and we beat him and things like that. So it's all good.
Green and Yellow, Lil Wayne, man. Can't hate on that.
Green and Yellow, man. I asked Morgan, and I want to ask you as well, because out there you spoke about you and Bebe, like when the Broncos beat y'all in the playoffs. Man, I want you to just speak on like what Demaryius Thomas, what he meant to you, what he meant to your whole brotherhood of guys that played together, and just what it meant for him to unfortunately leave us.
It is unfortunate. I remember, I'll never forget the day I found out. T. Choice called me. I was in a restaurant with some of my friends and stuff like that, and he called me, just told me that he died. I knew he was living close by where I was living, and I saw him before it all happened, and he was just kind of telling me what he was going through, and it was just sad in all honesty. But, Bebe the person, a big-ass kid, bro. Like, just, likes to joke around, likes to have fun. I think the biggest thing with Bebe is, he would just give you his shirt off his back. Like, he was just, he got there a little bit early for us. Like, so he was a redshirt freshman when we were true freshmen. He might as well have been in our recruiting class because that's who he was around. He was around me, Nesbitt, Brad, list goes on of all the guys he was always around. He was like our big brother.
Yeah.
But he never tried to big brother us, but he was our big brother. He always looked after us. If I needed a ride somewhere, or if I needed something, he was willing to help, and vice versa for me. Like if he needed anything and everything like that. So I would say the most amazing thing about Bebe is not just a football player, it's the person he is. He's a even more better person than he is a football player.
Man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Hate that he passed, but man, love to see him get his flowers, man. Because I know he meant a lot to you guys.
Yes, he did.
Morgan had nothing but special things and complimentary things to say about him as well. I know that's y'all brother, so I wanted to ask you guys, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Let's get to what's going on with Tech now, man. What you want to holler at him about?
Go ahead, then I
yeah, man. So one of the things we talked a little bit about the combine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Haynes King talked about him. But break down who you think has probably made the biggest impact or the biggest person at the combine from Tech that may be the most sought after player. And then I ask you a little something about Haynes King.
I think Tate Rutledge is probably the big name guy there.
Who?
Because Tate Rutledge,
Okay.
the officer at the guard. I think that he's probably the biggest name there, just because of what he brings, the physicality part, and at the end of the day, the way this game, and the way the football is being played, it is a passing game. But at the end of the day, if you can't run the ball, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what his motto is, just him being how physical he is at the point of attack. Now he's a people mover, so everybody's looking for guards and everybody's looking for people like that. I think Eric Rivers has a good chance because of his film. I don't think he put the numbers up he put up this past year like he did at FIU, but he's a solid player. And the way he could, how fast he is, how he can take the top off the offense, and he's special when they get the ball in his hands. So that also he's a big factor too. And I think I don't think Amari participated, but I think Amari is a good person as well because he can play everywhere in the secondary. And then Haynes' situation is you're just getting a football player. He's developing more and more as a passer. But at the end of the day, he's a winner and he's a warrior. So it depends on just what you're looking for. I think his thing is about what system he goes into. Mm-hmm. I think that's the biggest thing for quarterbacks is, a lot of quarterbacks are busts, but it's not because they're not good. It's because of the system they go in. And how that OC is willing to change his offense to that quarterback to enable him to be the best that he can be.
And I asked you, did you see a team? Because when I look at Haynes, when we were talking out there, I was saying how when I look at Haynes, I see a lot of similarities on how I think maybe a team could utilize him until he gets his passing to where he's an immediate starting level quarterback, and that is likening him to a Taysom Hill. And I asked you, what do you think about that? Do you see an NFL team maybe potentially bringing him in to play a role like that?
I think he's more than capable of doing that. I think that in all reality, it just depends on, I told you out there, it depends on what he wants to do. If he's willing to go and play early, he probably is going to be that Taysom Hill guy. If he wants to develop, I think he should go to a place where, he's behind a guy who's similar to him. If he were to go to Baltimore right now, he's maybe not as electric as Lamar, but he kind of can do the same things Lamar can do, and he can continue to develop as a passer. I think it's just about fit. Certain places, that are if he goes, go to a place where there's a mobile quarterback. If he went to Denver and he's behind Bo, or if he's at Washington, he's behind Jaden Daniels. Those are type places that he probably needs to, hope to go to.
And I can tell you this, being a Falcon fan, playing against New Orleans, I hate when Taysom Hill comes in the game because he's a first down getter, and I'm like, man. And so I can see Haynes King being as good or better than Taysom Hill.
Definitely. Look, man, you just said something. I wasn't even thinking Denver. Sean Payton, that's who put Taysom Hill into effect. I can easily see, if they need a young backup to groom and can still do some special things. Man, I ain't even think about that. That could be a place where he could easily go.
Hey, so I want to ask you an uncomfortable question, man, and I think it's relevant for what's going on. Well, we have the Falcons have James Pierce Jr., and he's going through some things right now legally. You kind of went through some things like that. What kind of advice would you give James Pierce Jr., and what have you learned from your situation in Arizona and how you can take that experience and pass it down to other people, man?
I think the biggest thing is I would say just, take the emotions out of it. I think probably the biggest thing I learned for myself is realizing who I don't want to be and know who I truly am as a man, who my parents raised me to be. Obviously, those things that happened didn't happen, and those legal issues are gone and past me. But at the same time, like, you know, as young men, we're not taught to, you know, use our emotions or talk about our emotions and be vocal about, you know, how to handle certain situations in an emotional standpoint, especially with women. I think that those are conversations that parents need to have with their children, especially young black men, about the whole situation, and hopefully they could, you know, learn from other people's mistakes, even mine. Like, you know, I wish I would have just walked away and just put myself away from the situation instead of trying to be the person I am of trying to fix things, instead of just realizing that maybe this is not the right time and not place. Maybe we can resurface this conversation later and probably remove myself.
Yeah, I've been in situations where, you know, things got heated, and I can understand, and I wish that I would have had someone talk to me. You know, as a coach, do you sometimes sit down with your players and go over real life situations with them?
Yeah, like all the time. Like I talk to them about, I think the biggest thing with young men and young women in general, like sometimes they don't want to have conversations with their parents, and I see that as a parent as myself. Like sometimes some conversations my kids don't want to talk to me about because they're not comfortable with it, or they're scared of what my reaction might be, or they're scared of the answer they may not want to hear. But at the same time, like, it's important to talk about these conversations because I think that, you know, no one knows how to handle it until you're actually in it. Mm-hmm. And I think that, I talk to them about every situation, from women to money to how to handle their money, how to, you know, figure out what people need to be in their life and what people that don't need to be in their life.
Gotcha.
Hey man, well I appreciate you. You know, like even you know, having that discussion and saying, you know, like how you would handle things nowadays and not taking offense to any questions. And you know, I'm sure you have a lot of wisdom you can share with, you know, like the young men and even the young women, you know, that you helping to coach and bring up. And one of the most special things that I heard you say just then is something that, you know, even in my 51 years, you know, knowing who you don't want to be. I think that's extremely important. Knowing who you don't want to be, knowing who you were raised to be, knowing who God put you here to be. And I think that's special, man. So yeah, anybody out there listening, just hold on to that, man. Know who you don't want to be. That'll keep all of us out of certain situations and hopefully keep us from doing certain things, you know what I'm saying, or even having certain discussions that we should be above anyway, because we know who we don't want to be, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Man, well, look, last thing I want to ask you, man. This might lead into a couple more questions. What's the outlook for Georgia Tech 2026? Haynes King gone. Mm-hmm. I know there was the backup. There was the quarterback behind that a lot of people were excited about, and then he moved on as well. Mm-hmm. So what's the outlook for Tech for those who may not be in the know, who may not know what my guy Brent Key has going over there?
I like him.
Yeah, I like Brent Key too. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think we both are more Dog fans than we are Tech, but we want to see. We want to see Tech do well. You know, I personally don't have any problem with Tech. My guy Doug,
hey.
he don't fool with Tech at all. But it's all love.
Hey,
it's all love.
You
know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Jonathan,
Ain't nothing
listen.
bad.
I got a chance through our brother Ryan Cameron. He gave us tickets every game, and I got a chance to go to all the games except a couple, and I think the ones I didn't go to, y'all lost. So I think Ryan should have kept me as that positive energy coming to the Georgia Tech game. I had a good time, man.
Hey, man. Yeah, you gonna mess up our link.
Yeah, man, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Keep sending them tickets, Ryan.
Hey, man, you gonna mess it up.
No, I ain't, man.
Yeah, so tell us, like, you know, what do people who may not be in the know, what do we need to know? Any of us need to know about what Brent Key and Tech has brewing down there, what they may have going on for this season coming up, what some of the expectations should be for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
I think that I'd tell you this: you better strap your chin strap up. I'll tell you that. I'll just be really honest with you. He's got a great coordinator, Coach Gotze, Goose. He's a Tech alum who came back from the Baltimore Ravens. I think that he's coming in with a lot of, you know, ways and creative ways to get our playmakers the ball. And that's pretty much what I've heard, and what he, you know, Coach Key, come by the school and recruit some of our kids. So that's some of the things that he's talked about, you know. And I'm excited to see them play, man. I'm excited to see the quarterback battle. I'm excited to see if it's going to be Graham Knowles, if it's going to be Mendoza's little brother. I'm excited to see, who these new guys are. I got to coach against the running back that we have now, whose dad was a dog, but he's decided to be with the good guys. Justice Hayes. I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see defense continue to evolve, and I know that we're going to be physical. You better strap up, and we're going to run the football.
One thing I've noticed about coaches in Georgia, with Georgia Tech and Georgia, it's all about the coaching, man. Like who you pick, like from Bobby Ross to Brent Key to Kirby Smart and Mark Richt. Like once you bring that mentality and that mindset, it's something about it. You know what I mean? I think Brett Key has that mindset that he brought to Georgia Tech. And I feel like he's turned the program around, getting it back to we was top 25 last year. I mean, I still say we because I'm a Georgia fan, so I used to adopt the fact that whoever had the best ranking, that's who I'm gonna go against when they play each other. And I know some people don't like that, but that's how I always been. Like I always been supportive because I always want us to win the chip. And when we won the chip in '91, against Nebraska we beat, and the Colorado was tied. I was happy about that.
Yes. I think, like I said, I think I'm excited for him. I think, football in general, no matter what level it is about, what kind of culture. They call it culture, but I think it's just mentality of what, the head coaches bring. I mean, I can go talk about our head coach at Kel. Like, we were a talented program that, constantly brought in a lot of guys to go to the next level, but he brought this mentality of how we're going to change the way we play. And, obviously we have succeeded, those things. And, Key's doing a great job. And, I'm very proud that he's back at his alma mater, and hope he stays for a long time, because I know if he continues to do what he's doing, the money guys are gonna end up coming and getting them.
I think coaches is something about somebody told us it's something about going to your alma mater and coaching. Who told us that?
Reggie Ball.
Reggie Ball. It's something about that chemistry, and it's just something that just clicks well with teams. You see it with Kirby, you see it with Key, you see it with a lot of people that come back and support their alma mater.
Yeah, last question. It was a kid, offensive lineman. I can't remember his name right off. He was like one of the big money NIL gets for you guys, but in the last recruiting cycle or last year, before this past season that just passed. What's his name, and you think he's gonna get on the field this year?
It's about Petty.
I think that's his name, big kid.
Yeah,
big kid. Like he was like I say, yeah.
I think he has opportunity. I hope he does. I mean, I hope that he's able to showcase why he is ranked the way he is, why he's a 5-star, why he is what people think he is. So I think the biggest thing for him is just continue to grow, develop, and I feel like offensive line, as long as you're physical and you're willing to put your face on the fan and all those things, and also have the mentality of next play, and I think he'll be able to have the opportunity. Hope he gets the opportunity to be one of the starters.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I hope the young man gets in there and does his thing, man. Well, Jonathan, man, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate you coming out,
problem.
man.
Thanks for the
Rocking with
opportunity.
my guy, man.
Thanks for the opportunity.
We surely appreciate it, man. Hey, listen, all y'all out there, man, that want to show Jonathan some love, tell them where they can find you, where they can see, some of the things you have going on. I don't know if you real active on social media or not.
I'm active from a standpoint of just like my kids. I'm always trying to get my kids recruited, and I think that's pretty much my main goal is obviously like we want to win games, but our mentality at Kel is obviously if our kids are happy, we're going to win games. If our kids are getting the love they need and attention that they need from a standpoint of making sure we're developing them, helping them get recruited, helping them get the opportunity to play at the next level, and we're doing everything we need to do.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. You love, brother. You know how I know you loved. You want to know how I know you love my brother? Man, because before we started the show, I had to post on our IG. I had to throw up our post for the day, and I always check the activity. And I can't remember the name. I saw some Dwyer. I say, man, is that the wife coming in to support Jonathan? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to follow the show so she can make sure she know what's going on.
Yeah, it's probably my wife, most definitely. She's
That's
very,
a blessing.
Supportive, and she's been there for me in the highs, lows.
That's a blessing.
And also, blending our family together and creating, a special blessing that we had this past June. We just had a little girl.
Man,
this
hey, man,
past June.
congratulations. Congratulations, man. Hey, man, well, you a blessed man, my
I appreciate
brother.
it. Appreciate it.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence, my brother.
problem.
I remember when we saw him at the homecoming walking.
Yeah.
He was on that little, going that little gate.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen y'all show a bunch of times.
Man, thank you,
And
bro.
so
Gotta
when
get
I
this
saw
on the wall.
when I saw you guys at the thing, I was like, man, I just got to let them know I appreciate everything they're doing and what you're doing for the city. Like, it's good to see black men working together, showing love to the city, showing love to Atlanta, bringing a bright spot, and also bringing the comedy and things like that with it too. So I mean, I respect everything you guys are doing, man.
Thank you,
Man,
brother.
I appreciate that. I
So I
appreciate
had to
it.
come by and see y'all. And, I didn't care if you guys knew me or not. Didn't really give a shit. But just wanted to let you know I appreciate everything y'all doing.
Man, thank you,
Nah,
brother.
that's little do you know, man. That made our day. That particular game, Reggie came up and spoke to us, and then you came up and spoke to us, and it meant a lot. You know what I mean? Because when you doing things, you never know who is paying attention.
definitely.
You know what I mean? So when you have guys that you watched them at their craft, turn around and let you know that they've watched what you're doing at your craft, like it means something. So we appreciate you for sitting down with us. We appreciate you acknowledging us and just deciding to show us that love. We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, man. Well, look, man, y'all already know what time it is, man. Man, we've been going a full hour. Shout out to everybody, man. Jay Black said, congratulations on your new baby, Jonathan Dwyer, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Cordell
man,
Shot said, June, baby, Jay.
yeah,
Congratulations.
man. Somebody just said truth in the building. Just said, my boy, be rich.
What up, Truth?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, but y'all know what it is, man. It's the Waterboy Show. It's our 2-year anniversary. Man, we just appreciate y'all for coming out. Appreciate y'all showing us some love. Appreciate Jonathan coming through, man. And listen, make sure y'all stay tuned for much more content. It's just 2 years, but with y'all love, man, we're going to be going on 22 before you know it. You know what I'm saying? Man, so we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And like we always say, the Waterboy Show, we represent Atlanta because Atlanta represents us. On behalf of myself, Trey, we got the great Jonathan Dwyer up in here. We got my brother B Rich in the building, Super Mario, and Doug, man. And we can't forget Aaron. We can't forget T. We can't forget Terry. And we cannot forget Stilla Mike. You know,
Happy birthday to us, man.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Sis, man. You already know the Mrs. in the Cordell shop. We can't forget her always making sure that her better half, man, you know what I'm saying, is in the building. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dick.
Yeah, we appreciate that, man. So listen, make sure y'all stay tuned. We got much more stuff to come. And on that note, man, the Waterboy Show, we are out.
Kill the camera.